the whole She-Hulk nonsense. This whole word sex positive to me is a play on words. I guess they're trying to redefine what that means.
Sex positive, like in current like woke definition, sex positive is it's cool to just fuck anybody whenever. Like
that's not what I was getting spammed.
Count.
That's not what I was getting spammed on my tweet that had thousands of likes the other day. They were trying to say like I was misinterpreting because I was trying to say this thing, and I'm like, what the fuck are you weirdos talking about? Now you've redefined something once again. But ultimately, the word sex really has no place in a show where, as the director said, 9-year-olds were contacting her. First of all, why are 9-year-olds contacting you? And secondly, why are you responding and celebrating?
I don't fucking believe that story. First of all, I don't believe that 9-year-olds were leaving.
I don't believe it either.
Yes.
There's no way a 9-year-old would be bored to tears from that show. There's just no way.
And also, how does a 9-year-old have the director of She-Hulk's phone number? Like it's made up.
But even just her like bragging about that with that type of mentality, that's so disgusting.
Honestly, when people say like these directors and stuff are talking about sex positivity, to me, sex positivity is just a Trojan horse to just normalize perversion, and things have just been a slippery slope.
The entire She-Hulk story from the entire season was defined off of her wanting to get laid. Her obsession with wanting to get laid. That was the entire storyline. And you're saying it's for kids. Like, what the hell?
There's just nothing about her life that seemed fulfilling and positive in any way. So I just really fail to see how she was supposed to be some sort of role model for young girls. It seemed very miserable to me.
That's supposed to be her superhero struggle, is that nobody likes Jen.
But does she change? She doesn't change. The only thing that
there's
changes
no growth.
is that she gets laid by Daredevil, and then
there is no change. She breaks the Marvel fucking universe to make it fit her life outlook. That's what she does. There's no growth. There's no difference. There's no change in Jen. All that happens is she goes from not being able to control the things around her to be able to control the things around her without any type of character growth, because she doesn't need any, because she is a stand-in for all of the late 30s, like very lonely, bitter women that are writing this show. That's what they are writing. That is the stand-in for them and what they feel like in life right now, because life hasn't treated them the way that they want to. They have trouble getting fucked. They have trouble finding relationships. They don't get the respect they deserve at work. All of those things are coming from the writers, because that's the only thing that they understand.
It's like laughably ironic too that this is supposed to be like this feminist show that's like, oh, we're breaking free of the patriarchy and the male gaze, and then literally the entire show is just about like her having sex.
But going back to like the article, it's just bizarre that to have those words sex positive and children in the same sentence, and you don't have one person telling you like maybe that's not a good idea. They said that they sat down and had tons of conversation about wanting to put the sexual tension of Jen in the show, and like they just kept going, and they're like, but we wanted to make sure that children could watch it too.
I think another thing this show does too, and that you'll see a lot of what feminists try to push onto younger girls too, is to just be as insufferable as possible. They're always like, oh, people call you complicated, keep being bossy, keep taking up space, keep speaking your mind. Who cares if people don't like it? You just need to take up more space. They're encouraging younger girls to be insufferable and then to blame all of society for taking issue with it.
It used to be where you knew like, hey, yeah, I can throw this Disney movie on for my kid while, you know, I'm trying to get some paperwork done for my job. Now you can't make that assumption anymore. And
remember when the worst thing in the world was like, oh, look, they hid sex in the clouds of this Disney movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
or like
the Little Mermaid, the Little
Little Mermaid in the castle. Like there was like, oh, look,
there was a wiener in the castle, right?
Yeah, they also get the priest an erection too. So.
And and that was like
now basically the protagonist is just someone who's desperate to fuck anyone she can at any time. Legitimately, I guess, how do you call that sex positive? Even if you're like taking their terms, right? Someone who's literally took Tinder and went swipe, 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 swipe. And then the first man who was attractive and bought her French fries, she went home and fucked.
She literally looked at the camera and goes, I'm really not proud of this.
I'm not proud of this.
But there's a difference between doing that and then coming out and flat out saying, we wanted to make this sex positive show for children.
Exactly.
There's a fucking big difference between that shit.